I'm Joe Glover. We've had that UFO film processed. The results are somewhat disappointing.
And I'm Robbie Timmons. Richard Riggs will have a special report on ESP.
Also tonight, Tom Korzeniowski reports on problems between police and Holly residents. An extortion plot uncovered in Livonia. We'll have local millage results from Farmington and Bloomfield Hills. Charlie Neal with Championship High School basketball. And Barry Zavan, the weatherman, has the latest weather for us all, coming up next.
30 to 60% off on every fur at Dittrich's, including famous designer furs by Anne Klein and Pierre Cardin, now through Saturday at Dittrich's, where fur miracles happen.
What good is beautiful fashion if you have pantyhose that bag around? Look, these are my new Claudette Louberge pantyhose. Watch. You can stretch them, pull on them, tie them in a knot. They never bag or tear, even in the center seam and the knees. Now, this is ordinary nail file, yes? Run it across my pantyhose. And voila, no run. I dare you to try that on your pantyhose. You pay no more than for regular pantyhose. They come in 2 shades, light and dark, and 2 sizes, regular and queen size. If they are not as good as I say, you send them back to me.
For quick delivery, specify color, light or dark, and size, regular or queen, and call toll-free 1-800-648-5325. Or save the COD charges, send $9.95 to Pantyhose, Box 70L, Southfield, Michigan, 48075. Remember, you get 8 pairs. That's right, 8 pairs of pantyhose for this one low price. These 8 pairs are guaranteed for a year.
Tonight, Eleanor tries to seduce Merle on Forever Fernwood at 11:30 on your TV2. Live from the Electronic News Center, TV2 News. With Joe Glover, Robbie Timmons, and the award-winning TV2 News team.
Good evening. An incredible story tonight from Holly, just a little town just off of Route 75. Our Tom Korzeniowski has been in Holly tonight, listening to complaints of abuses of power by police and government there, and reporting that they're even complaining of police brutality by the tiny police force.
That's right, Joe. It's an almost unbelievable situation. In peaceful, colorful Holly, Michigan, north of Pontiac, citizens are accusing the police of harassment and abuse. And at least one member of the township board of using juveniles to spy on high school students. The Holly Police Department is under fire and has been for months. But tonight, some 150 citizens who say they've had enough moved the regular township board meeting to the local high school to level their accusations. Like Mrs. Sherry Neubecker, whose husband apparently was wrongfully arrested on his property, then repeatedly sprayed with chemical mace.
Now, what has that done to my children? And how can I explain to them to this day that you're supposed to respect somebody that beat up your father and we're not quite sure why, and there was no reason to do it? No other human being has a right to do that to another one, unless my husband had physically assaulted someone. I could understand it, but he was cuffed from the time that he left our house.
Holly Police Chief Walter Springer, listening to the charges, said he'd tell his side privately to the township board. Springer told me there's been a law and order crackdown in Holly, and some toes are getting stepped on. That's all.
Oh, I forgot.
Then Mrs. Kitty Beach accused a board member, Joe Mishler, of asking a young girl to spy on various people, including a high school class president and her own child.
The ramifications of this is that he's shown he's morally bankrupt. He possesses no personal integrity or self-respect. And he has shown that he's involved this girl right in the middle of a controversy of not her own making. And I don't see how the board, I know some of the members on this board, and I have nothing but respect for them. And I don't know how, if they intend to continue to function with credibility, they can afford to keep Mr. Mishler on that council.
Mishler admitted to asking the girl to spy, saying he'd received threats, adding that, in his words, an elected official needs to know what's going on. And there are other cases. A high school youth hassled by a Holly cop after he dated the officer's former girlfriend. The American Civil Liberties Union is asking the township board to appoint an independent investigative agency to look into the charges and ban the use of chemical mace until specific regulations about it are formulated. Unless the township board acts, the ACLU says there could well be court action. Robbie?
Sounds like a story you may be following up later.
Indeed.
Thank you, Tom. FBI agents are searching for 3 extortionists tonight who pulled off a job at the Detroit Bank and Trust branch at 3501 Michigan Avenue in Detroit. It started out this morning in Livonia. 2 of the extortionists broke into the home of bank manager Joe Forensic and held his wife and 2 kids at gunpoint. The gunman forced the Forensic's daughter to call her father at work. He was told to look around the bank for an accomplice to the gunman. Forensic was ordered to give that accomplice money or his family would get hurt. Forensic handed over a bundle of 5s and 10s to the man, and his family was released unharmed. The FBI is now studying a bank film showing the accomplice. Joe?
You and I may be facing twice daily blackouts if the coal strike is not over soon. The people at Detroit Edison are saying tonight that